Hello and good morning, the beautiful community of Coaching via Technology. I have a bit of sunshine greeting me. I can stop it by doing that. Hello and welcome to those of you who are interested in joining me today for a Facebook Live. The very first challenge I'm having is I was invited to turn my phone to a horizontal orientation, and this morning the phone's just proving completely stubborn and refuses to switch. So sorry about that, and I hope this video looks cool in any case. And I've got the sunbeam coming in from somewhere, so it's like highlighting in my home studio. So welcome everybody. My name, for those who don't know me, is Michelle Clark, and I am the administrator of this group, Coaching via Technology, where you beautiful people come in and share your wisdom, and I'm super, super grateful for that. And I am by no means an expert, particularly on what I'm about to talk about, which is growing a global network. We have some members in this group who are far greater experts than I, and I'd be thrilled if you people say hello and share any comments as this conversation emerges to help us all to learn, because I do want the Coaching via Technology group to be a learning platform and not a Michelle Clark sales tool. Maybe I miss a great opportunity, but I know how much I value groups where there is joint learning, and so that's what I'd love to happen in this space. And just to let you know a little bit about my style, it is sort of a mixture between spontaneous, improvised, planned, and a whole bunch of thoughts that I sit with in my head that I want to share. And I do want to make sure in all my social media activities, all my online activities, that I bring my personality into it, because when people come and join me in a coaching partnership, this is the personality they're going to find. So I want it to be spontaneous and very real and very authentic. And it is 9 o'clock here in Santiago de Chile. It's a beautiful summer's day, as you can see, and promising to get hotter and hotter. And I would love to know who is in the call and where you guys are. So please pop into the comments, say hello, and let me know what time of day it is and how you're enjoying your weather. Apparently I have, again, a weak connection, so I can't see any comments yet. And I'm just going to, keep moving ahead. So today I wanted to chat about building a global network. I make an assumption that most of us are in this group called Coaching via Technology because we understand that technology provides us a really powerful tool to reach beyond our particular circle of influence. And I know that many of us want to work across borders. It's certainly very attractive to me to be able to work with clients in Hong Kong or Canada or wherever, not just because it's nice to earn some foreign currency, but because it's very, hi Penny and Josie, and hi Gail in Cape Town. So nice to have you. It's really exciting to work with people who have a different culture, different accents, different worldviews, and technology invites that opportunity to reach out to them. So I have a little cheat sheet here on the Mac, which I'm just going to bring up, about how to build a global network. And Port Elizabeth, hi Linda. For me, building a global network has always been on my sights when I started my coaching practice. I started my coaching practice about officially around 2007. Hi, Lenford. And at that time, my primary target market were coaches. I was helping coaches to build their businesses. And I used, what you'd call traditional methods of marketing. At that time, perhaps the language wasn't what it is today, but it was build your list and then mail your list regularly and send out your offerings and so forth. And I was reasonably successful with that. I had a great list, quite a responsive list. But when I analyzed where my business was coming from, and I think this occurs for most of us, right? When I analyzed where the business was coming from, it was actually coming through a network that I had created, and not necessarily from all this hard work of blog writing and newsletters and such. And around 4 years ago, my computer crashed, and together with that computer crash, I lost that entire list. And I cried some crocodile tears, because we do that. And then I decided that I'm at an age and a stage and a maturity in my business that I don't want to do that hard marketing sale anymore. I want to create a methodology where clients come to me as opposed to me pushing myself out to them. And so because I'd analyzed that my route to market, my referral base was coming from my network, I decided that I would become a network marketer. Not an MLM network marketer, but really start to work this network in a more powerful way. In 2009, I was in London. I went to do a certified master coach course. And I met a woman there who was a superstar coach and super busy. Really, she had clients on a waiting list. And I asked her how she got her clients, and her response, well, perhaps a little cheeky, was that she said, "Michelle, I'm a networking slut." And excuse the French, we don't want to, it goes back to my ballsy conversation, but we don't want to be cheeky about it. But really, really touching in and working a network can have a very powerful effect. So I want to talk to you today about growing a global network and how I go about it. And please let me know how you go about it and share with us so that we can all gain from each other's expertise. So for me, of course, I think we know this, one of the most powerful tools we have at our disposal is social media. And my first entry into social media was via Twitter. Hello, Dina from Stanford. What a gorgeous name, Stanford, right? My first entry into social media was via Twitter. I got slightly addicted to that. I'm what you call an early adopter. So at the early stages of Twitter, I was in there and tweeting several times a day, and found it an exciting platform and made a lot of connections, of which I still have today. Some while into that, maybe a year and a half into that, I started to find Twitter restrictive. I could connect with people and create a network, but I wasn't able to become intimate with that network. I wasn't able to engage in conversations in the way I like with a network. Hello, Bengt from Sweden. Bengt, who is in fact one of my friends from Twitter. So I'm so excited that we've retained our connection in the world. So I decided to switch out of Twitter and to move into Facebook, because it's a platform where I could start to really engage with the network. Because what's the point of having a network that is a bunch of names or numbers that I'm not talking to? And so I pulled all of my Twitter connections into Facebook by looking them up and searching for them and sending a friend request. I'm really proactive about sending out friend requests on Facebook, and drew these people into my network where we could start to have some conversations. I also use LinkedIn, and I'm going to share with you in a little bit how I've managed to expand my LinkedIn network. And I think LinkedIn has legs, and I'm really keen to utilize it more. At the moment, I've been on a push just to build a network in that space, but I plan to start using that a lot more. And more recently, after a little bit of a hiatus, I have started to use Instagram again. And that very much sings to me because I'm a photographer when I'm not a coach, and it's a visual platform, beautiful photography, so it appeals to the visual part of my personality. And my recommendation for all of us is that we find the social media platforms that really resonate with us. I think there's a lot of noise at the moment, certainly noise coming in at me, of people saying Instagram is the place to be, Instagram stories, you got to do it if you're a coach, or we're professionals, we should really be in LinkedIn groups. And I think that we have to find the platform that works for us. The experts are telling us the platform that works for them. And we need to know what works for us because in my experience, this business of building this global network and making solid connections in that space takes hard work. And if I'm going to hang out in any social media area, putting in a lot of hard work, I want it to be super fun. I want to super love that platform and really enjoy my time there. So that's my recommendation. So how's everybody doing? We're doing okay. I'm just going through my cheat sheet. So an idea that was introduced to me way back when was a concept called the Nifty 50. And what the Nifty 50 related to was creating a list of 50 people who you would just love to connect with in your world. And these may be people you know, but they may be people you don't know. You may just simply admire them and want to be in their network or have them in your network. So the Nifty 50 was writing down these people's names, 50 of them, and then actively learning how you can connect with them. And I think nowadays that the numbers have changed, so it could move from the Nifty 50 to maybe the sexy 70, or maybe it's the thrilling 1,000, something like that. But to get clear in your mind who it is that you would love to be connected with in a network, because they have something of value to offer and you have something to offer them. And once you have your names and your list, it's to start Googling and searching for these people no matter where they are and reaching out to them proactively to invite them into your network. In my experience, if you have a solid branding collateral behind you, branding assets, the person can see that you are real, that you are a contributor, an influencer, and add value, they're very happy to let you into their network. And then the trick is you've got to let them know that you're a wonderful person, that you can add value, otherwise you're just a nobody on the list. So I was chatting to a client yesterday who was saying to me, but you know, in his Facebook profile, he's met people at networking functions and conferences, and they're in his Facebook profile, but you know, they never say hello and they never talk with him, so he kind of ignores them. And sure, they may not talk to you. That's not what it's about. Networking is an active process, and it's your responsibility and your honor as the networker to do the outreach. And so these people that are coming into your Facebook or whatever social media channel, it's up to you to go out and comment, engage with them, admire their world, and start to turn them, as I say, from connections to acquaintances, and hopefully at the end of the day to friends who may refer you. And I've had a great deal of benefit from my network and the connections I make, where they have shared my name when somebody wants a coach. So I have coach clients in Hong Kong, in Canada, in the USA, in New Zealand, in Australia, which is not so easy on the time zone. And all of these have come through other people saying, oh, you're looking for a coach. Michelle Clark is in my network, and maybe she's the coach for you. So it really is an outreach development of reaching people that you want in your network. So let me give you, for example, our group, Coaching via Technology. This is a wonderful way of creating a network of like-minded people that resonate around your particular topic. And I created Coaching via Technology, as you know, because I have a particular passion about working globally and working across borders. Dina, thank you for being here. And I encourage you, those of us who are in this group, to make friends in this group. And you are even invited to pull some people into your own network. However, I do caution against pilfering other people's networks, only because if you and I are targeting or talking into the same network, of course people have all right to choose who they wish to work with, but we're starting to water down our offering. So the idea is to create a network that is unique to you, your like-minded people, the people you want around you in your world. And so creating a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group where you are facilitating the conversations is an awesome technique for creating a global network. Here are another 3 of Michelle's little secrets of how I create a global network. And the one of them, and please, I hope nobody's going to come down on me on my cheekiness, but I call this the spam hack. And it goes like this. I am sure many of you, as happens for me, receive spam emails where you have never offered out your email address. I receive them regularly, and many of them are about conferences that are related to my industry, personal development, leadership. I never put my name on the email list, but I'm a coach and people have found me and they've put my name on the email list, and they send me spam. And in the spam, they would say, we're having a conference about leadership, and it's super exciting because these 10 people are going to be talking. And so those 10 people, in many instances, are complete strangers to me. But the spam came in, and it was not with permission. And so now I have 10 names, thanks to the spam, who are people who I may love to have in my network because they're like-minded and they're in the same field as me. And so I will Google them, and I'll check them out on LinkedIn. And if they are my kind of people, I'll connect with them. And once we're connected, I will perhaps try and draw them into Facebook where I can have a more intimate and engaging conversation with them. Or I'll engage them on LinkedIn and start to find out where synergies are and try to move them from connections to acquaintances to friends. So that's my spam hack. Love to know what you think of that one. The other thing that I think is really a great way of creating a network is not to be business focused. I'm not sure how you feel, colleagues, but I am saturated with being sold to and with with finding out that everybody's Instagram feed is nothing more than a sales document, or on Facebook all the commentary are around sales. So I think building a network is about creating friendships, from connections to acquaintances to friendships. And so I want to, sometimes I think it's cool to start off with the friendship element before we even start to talk business. And so along with being part of groups that are to do with branding or leadership and my particular areas of interest, I also have personal groups that I belong to. So, for example, I belong to an improvised training group. I'm actually training some people to do improvised training. And from that group, to my delight, I have a client. I also belong to a fitness group in Santiago, an online Facebook fitness group where people are not talking about any business. They're talking about their diets and their thighs and their number of sit-ups they do in a day. And I participate in that group, revealing to that group how I see the world, how I feel about exercise and diet. And from that group, people go, wow, she's an interesting person. She can add some value to my world. I'd love to connect with her. And so we start the process of moving from connection to acquaintance to friend. And I have had many clients. I have coached a son of a person I met in a yoga class. I've coached through improv, as I say. I've met people in fitness groups and fashion groups. So another super way is to get into your personal interests and start sharing and being yourself, and try to get people into your global network. So that was my second trick. And my third trick is expanding our LinkedIn network. And one of the awesome tools, which I'm sure you're familiar with now, that LinkedIn offers us, is this ability to write blogs. And I am experiencing that those blogs are really Gary V. I'm just going to read Peter's comment here. Gary V speaks, add value, add value, add value. Absolutely. Absolutely, Peter, and I know that's what you do on a regular basis. So keep commenting. We'd love to know how what your formula for that is. So back to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful professional network. And in my experience, people are less resistant to connecting with you on LinkedIn because they don't see themselves being exposed in a personal manner. And so one of the things that you can do is you can, and I encourage you to Google this, you can bring in all of your Facebook contacts, if you want to, into LinkedIn via your Yahoo email address. And I am not going to take you through that process. I'm going to encourage you to do what I do, and that is that I consult with my guru, Google. I'm permanently consulting with Google. Google, can I bring Facebook contacts into LinkedIn? Can I bring Twitter contacts into LinkedIn? And when Google tells me yes, I can, and it shows me the how, I do that. So recently, I have increased my LinkedIn networking numbers from around 3,000 to around 6,000 simply by that activity. And what was super exciting to me is people reached out to say, hey, Michelle, it's so cool. We're connected here, and now we're connected here. And why are we doing that? And so it's an opportunity to create a conversation that takes us from that connection to acquaintance to a friendship. And so we start to become more friendly with one another. And I'm not sure how much time I've been chatting for, but Karen says hi, and I'm super excited and loves me. She pops me a heart, and I love you back. And this is what networking is about, right? And I love this. We get to talk in emoticons and hearts. But the point of a network is that we may not be meeting for dinner tonight or hanging out at the movies. Hello from PE, Judy. But we are connected. And I get a super thrill to realize when people, thank you, Peter, 23 minutes. We're close to 30 minutes, I had said. Realizing that we're starting to create closer and closer bonds, despite that it's virtual. And that if I have a potential client in Sweden who would like a face-to-face coach, I know where to send them. And I have friends in Aberdeen and Sweden and India and Hong Kong and PE in Cape Town and Joburg. And you have a friend in Santiago de Chile. And Bridget is in Johannesburg. And so we have this opportunity to be more valuable to one another because we're able to cross-pollinate. I was recently contacted by a coach in France who remembered me from Cape Town, who asked me to refer him to somebody in Cape Town, which I gladly did. And then he came back to me 4 or 5 days later and said, well, you know what? It looks like a deal's going down in South America, and so maybe we have an opportunity there. And I've never met this person in face-to-face. I've only met them virtually. So I'm a great proponent of building this global network, reaching out with a value, reaching out with a solid brand behind you so that people go, wow, yes, I want to be friendly with this person. And then starting that process of connecting with them, loving their things, knowing them in a real authentic way. Really, as I started this conversation saying, really bringing your personality into it. Hello, David Collins from Essex on the sea. Nice. So now we can see we've got a worldwide network going in this group, and that makes us powerful. It makes us connected. It makes us. It gives us an opportunity to learn each other's cultures and global mindset. And I encourage us to continue to do that. I am going to close now. I'm going to thank you so very much for joining me and so very much for being in my group. As you can see, there's a lot of global activity here. Everybody is welcome and everybody is equal. And Judy loves my dress. I love my dress. Indeed, business is becoming borderless, Peter. And I love that. I have a support staff who sits in India, a designer who sits in Somerset West, an accountability partner who sits in Aberdeen. And I'm just thrilled about this. And please stick with us as a group. We're growing. We're going to expand borders. And let's collaborate together and see what we can do. So I thank you for coming in to my second Facebook Live. I blew it this morning. I wasn't able to change my screen orientation. If anyone can help me to do that, I'd be thrilled. And have yourselves an awesome, awesome weekend. And I look forward to our continued participation. And in South America, at the end of most conversations, they say, un beso y abrazos, which means a kiss and a hug. Thank you. Ciao.